I've decided I want to pop off this summer, and if you're interested in doing that with me, grab your coffee and sit down, girls. Let's talk about how we're gonna have the most fun, fittest, hottest summer ever, and talk about exactly how we're going to do it. Because I decided, you know what, Kara, you're not popping the off enough, and I want you to pop the off with me. So if you're a person that wants to be able to see results in the gym, whether you're trying to build muscle, burn fat, or actually just build a body that you can feel really, really good in, that also starts with eating enough food to be able to fuel your body for those workouts, replenish your body of nutrients, and have enough protein that you can actually see the gains for what you're doing in the gym. And I will be just so transparent with you that this is so hard for me to be consistent with. So I'm making this video as a reminder to myself that you promised yourself you would pop off. So you better, girl, you better do it. And the only way to do that is to be consistent with my eating, my nutrition, my workout routine, and my mental health. So I want to talk about training and how I plan on doing that by lifting heavy. But this video is just going to talk about what my meal prep is for the week because I really enjoyed it. I'm filming this in the middle of the week, so I've already gone through a couple of these meals. And I am going to do a whole recap video at the end of this week talking about how the meals went and what my meals are for next week, and a grocery list in case you need some meal inspiration and just looking for ways to eat healthy, eat high protein, and talking about how we're going to get there together. Get your pen, get your paper out, get your notes app, and take some notes. Maybe you can be inspired to make some of these meals this week. And then also some higher protein snacks. That's probably the number one question that I get asked of, like, Kara, what are some high protein snacks that I can grab in the middle of my workday, or, you know, when I'm at the office, or just a way to get more protein in my day? So I want to talk about that a little bit, but first we are going to talk about meals. When I was thinking about what I wanted to do, meal planning for the week, I think about the times first where I'm struggling the most and trying to make those meals as easy as possible. For me, that's lunch. I get to the middle of the day and I'm like, seriously, what am I doing? And then it's like 1 p.m. and I'm like, I don't really know what to make. And then it's like 3 p.m. and I'm eating lunch super late and it's just not smart. So I really started on creating really easy lunch ideas, like not extravagant. That can be for dinner. For me, that's the time. I have more time at night to dedicate to creating more extravagant dinner meals, or just I have more time to make dinner. Lunch, I needed to be fast and easy. Same with breakfast. I needed to be fast and easy and high protein and high carb, depending on when I'm working out that day. So I really focus on making lunch as easy as possible and then just building meals that I know I like and enjoy around that. I need you to remember that not everybody needs to like eat a yogurt parfait for breakfast every day or eat eggs. Like, if you don't have the time to make eggs on sourdough toast or whatever for breakfast every day, like, you need to eat something that you will actually eat, if that makes sense. So level with yourself on how much time you have, if you have a commute to work, you know, whatever you're going through, whatever your life situation is, and then make your life easier, not harder. You don't have to make a 5-course breakfast, you know, for it to be a good breakfast. It could be as simple as meal prepping overnight oats, and that's super easy for you. You just have to be consistent with doing it. For breakfast this week, I planned overnight oats. I planned yogurt parfaits. I planned an egg bake. And then I actually ended up making those as like little mini egg cups. And my classic go-to is like a sourdough toast with cottage cheese and chicken sausage on the side. So I want to talk about breakfast. Overnight oats are a really awesome way to have a really easy breakfast on the go. It can be a really carb heavy meal. So what you need to think about is, what is my protein source? I have these oats from Creatures of Habit, and they actually have protein powder in them. If you're not a protein powder girly and you just don't feel like mixing oats with protein powder, it can be like kind of chalky depending. I like this brand. This is not sponsored. I just enjoy them. So I'm doing apple, chia, cinnamon overnight oats this week. And like I mentioned, the overnight oats brand that I use, I just literally mix it with milk overnight and then they're ready in the morning. The second is a yogurt parfait. The hack to a yogurt parfait, so that it's not like a giant sugar bomb for you in the morning, is to pair it with something that has a little bit more fat or fiber. So that's berries, nuts, chia seeds, flax seeds, stuff like that. Or even just drizzling a little bit of peanut butter, almond butter, something like that on top. Yogurt parfaits are awesome. I am in my yogurt era ever since I found this Sophia's Greek yogurt from this place in Belmont at the fruit center in Milton. Like, you can't stop me from having yogurt parfait. I want to have a yogurt parfait every day ever since I found this yogurt. So yogurt parfaits is number 2. I did an egg bake with the sweet potato hash from Trader Joe's and just mixed some eggs, milk, a little bit of sun-dried tomatoes and spinach. I sauteed the 2 potato hash, put it in the muffin cups, and then put the egg mixture on top with a little bit of cheese and also put some chicken sausage in there, and they were so good. They're not the same consistency as Starbucks ones, but like, truly, I just don't think anybody's are ever gonna be that way. And I'm not about to like get a sous vide cooker out in order to do that. So the egg bake was super easy. I made them in muffin tins, and there's like 12 grams of protein in each egg cup, which is great. And then last but not least, this is a staple for me. I would eat this every single day till the day I die. Sourdough toast, cottage cheese, some sort of topping situation on top, and a side of chicken sausage. Boom, done. That's breakfast. We're gonna yap about lunch. I'm trying to make my life as easy as possible. So this is for me, turkey sandwiches, literally, chicken salad, tuna salad. Those are 3 things that I know are easy, accessible to me, unless I have like leftovers. That's also, I think, something to keep in mind, especially if you're making food for like 1 person or 2 people. Leftovers from dinner are also a great option for lunch. And I've done that with a couple of my dinners recently. Or at least this week. But turkey sandwiches, like a sandwich on sourdough bread, so underrated, so much protein. You get protein from the meat, deli meat, you get protein from the cheese. You can add a little bit of like toppings on there. Like, you can get super creative with it. And it's also a way to get a source of fiber. So adding greens, adding tomatoes, adding stuff like that. I just like, I'm so in my sandwich era right now, and I'm here for it. Tuna salad and chicken salad. These are just like 2 very easy ways that I know I can meal prep a big thing of tuna salad, like 4 cans of tuna, giant thing, or a bunch of chopped up like pre-made chicken. I literally bought the pre-cooked chicken from Trader Joe's, just chopped it up with a bunch of like mayo and toppings, and that is my lunch. You can put it on top of a salad. You can have it with like some sides if you want to make some sides. It's just like, for me, lunch is making my life easy and choosing things that I know are going to be fast and I don't have to think about very much. So I've been rocking with those 3 things this week. I'm really, really heavily in my sandwich era. It's like sandwich time over here. And then dinners. Dinners for me are where you can have a little bit of fun. Obviously, I am always going to be in my goodles era, but we can't have goodles every night, girls. Even though, like, who's to say? You know, who's to say? I love goodles. They're an amazing source of protein. And they're just good. They're like they're my comfort meal for me. And I chop up some chicken sausage and add some broccoli. And that's like a meal that I feel like as girls, we just have that on rotation. Goodles, vegetable, chicken sausage. But some things I'm making this week with some ingredients from Trader Joe's. I'm doing an Asian stir fry with shrimp. Shrimp is a really, really amazing source of protein, super high in protein and super lean. And you can buy it in like bulk, frozen, already cooked. It's so easy and quick to make with like stir fry vegetables. I like to make a bunch of rice at once with like the jasmine rice from Trader Joe's, but they also literally sell pre-cooked rice that you can just pop in the microwave and make your life easy. An enchilada bake, which I actually saw from a girl that I follow on here, Morgan. I'll tag her here, and I think she has the recipe on her page, but it's basically like a ground beef based recipe where you mix in some chips, dream, and then top it with some Greek yogurt, some avocado, and it's just kind of giving like Tex-Mex, really, really yummy, easy 1-pot meal. Salmon bowls with rice are always going to be a staple in my household. I love salmon so much. I dice it into little cubes and I mix it with a little dressing and then fry it up in the air fryer. It's so easy and fast and really high in protein and just really good. I love salmon so much. And then pasta salad, which is fun for the summer. I cook like a high protein pasta and mix it with some fresh avocado, some fresh cilantro, some tomatoes, some olives if you're into that. And then you can kind of like pick and choose your protein source. I like to do a grilled chicken or something with that. And then last but not least, Greek bowls. Greek bowls are, again, like a huge hit in my household. It's just like all we want to have is Greek bowls all the time. You can make chicken meatballs, turkey sausage meatballs, regular meatballs, and just mix them with like tzatziki and some cut up cucumbers and just stuff to make meals fun. So I like to pre-prep ingredients, not necessarily meals, and then be able to mix and match throughout the week. But that's what I have planned and we have eaten for breakfast, lunch, and dinner throughout the week this week. I'm really proud of myself because I have stuck to this plan, and also I'm making meals that I find interesting so I don't get bored. I could go on rotation of the same amount of meals, like the same kind of meals, for weeks and weeks, and then all of a sudden you kind of get the ick, like you get the egg ick, or you're just going through a chicken, or you're just like, ugh, I don't want to have a Greek bowl, and then you mix it up and you try and find something different. But this is what I'm rocking with this week to fuel my workouts, to make sure I'm getting enough protein, and to make sure I'm getting enough fiber and vegetables and carbs and all of the things so that I can feel good, I can function and do my job really well, and I can also fuel my workouts and, more importantly, like actually see results from my workouts, because you could work out as much as you can, and if you are not eating enough, you will simply never see the return on your investment of time in those workouts. Like, you just won't. It's not going to happen for you. So that is reminder to me and reminder to you. I want to talk about how I am training, but that will be in a separate video. And the last thing I want to touch on are high protein snacks. I think for a lot of people, they feel like they need to have snacks on hand because it's so normal to get very snacky, obviously. Snacks and desserts are kind of those extra things in your week that like spark a little bit of joy. And like, I am having a dark chocolate peanut butter cup, or like a tiny little bit of Greek yogurt ice cream, or something sweet at the end of the night. Like, trust and believe, I'm having a dessert, and like sometimes it's regular ice cream, period. Okay. And that's just life. Like, being hot is also realizing that we don't need to be restrictive. Like, we can enjoy life. We can go out for drinks with the girls. Sometimes this plan is a wash. You go out for drinks with the girls on Tuesday. You have book club on Thursday. You have some wine. It. You have a charcuterie board? Amazing. That's part of life, okay? That is part of life. And you need to remember that if you are good with this 80, 70% of the time, you'll be fine. You'll be great. The point is you have to be consistent and also allow yourself to have things like snacky snacks and dessert when you want to have it. I feel like the biggest misconception with snacks is that they can be substituted for like a meal. And I think for a lot of people, snack can really just mean that maybe you're not eating enough, period, or you're not eating enough in the times when you are eating, like at breakfast or your lunch. So I love to keep like chomps on hand. Those are really easy, high protein. Honestly, it sounds so diet culture-ish, but like a rice cake with some peanut butter and jelly with banana on top, see you later. Like, it's so good. It hits the spot. Turkey roll-ups with cheese, like just stuff that's so easy. A little bit of cottage cheese, even with chips, like cottage cheese and a chip. If I'm like really wanting chips and salsa, which is pretty much always, like I'm 100% of the time wanting to have chips and salsa, I'll take some sort of chip or cracker and just dip it in cottage cheese. And it kind of scratches the itch of like, I'm having a dip. I'm a dip girl. One thing about me is the Trader Joe's dip section and me, we know each other well. But yeah, I mean, like, I think it's really important to allow yourself to have some snacks and kind of like ball out there sometimes. But a really easy way to avoid being super snacky and just like eating for the sake of eating or eating because you're bored is by making sure you're eating enough protein and fiber at all of the meals that you're making throughout the day. So that's like eating enough vegetables, making sure you're getting enough carbs, making sure you're drinking enough water. Like 90% of the time when I'm hungry, it's actually just because I'm thirsty as fuck and I haven't had one sip of water throughout the day. So, I like to keep chomps on hand. I love a rice cake situation. I honestly love Go Macro bars. I don't think people demonize protein bars. Whatever, guys. Like, they're yummy. They have cool flavors sometimes. That's okay. Like, a protein bar is not lunch, but I think it can be really, really good way to like fulfill a little afternoon snack. An apple with peanut butter. It's giving kindergarten snacks, Allow yourself to have those things, but don't just give yourself free will to like open your cabinet and be like, wonder what I'm in the mood for. When you like pre-plan and give yourself options, I feel like it's a little bit easier on your brain to like get rid of the analysis paralysis and then be balls deep in like chips and salsa at like 3 p.m., which I totally have done so many times. That's how I'm planning on hitting my protein goals this week. I am already halfway through the week. And another thing I haven't talked about is my protein coffee. This is my second coffee of the day, which I'm sure you could tell because I'm talking at the speed of light, but I start every morning with my protein coffee. We can talk about supplements. We can talk about ways to supplement your meal intake, which is what supplements should be, a supplement to your meal intake. But that's where I'm starting this week. If you're vibing with any of these meals, I would love to hear below in the comments, but I also would love to hear what people are having for lunch. I'm like always like, girls, what are we eating for lunch to eat something high protein fulfilling and that's not so boring. Please subscribe to the channel. My name is Kara and I have been in the fitness and wellness industry for over a decade. I am a certified personal trainer and I also at one point had my precision nutrition level 1 coaching. It has since expired, which I feel like a lot of people don't talk about. Like, not every cert is current. That is not current, but I really love talking about ways to combat diet culture and make sure that we are eating enough to fuel our bodies, moving enough in a way that makes us feel good, and reminding ourselves that hot people eat food and hot girls lift weights. So let's check in with one another. Let's like stay in touch and make sure that we're holding ourselves accountable to show up, eat food, move our body, drink water, okay, and have fun this summer, okay? Because we're popping the off, girls. We're popping the fuck off. Love you. See you next time.